What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. Also, in this video, I will have a special guest appearance for you guys here in this video, so make sure to watch all the way to the end for our special guest appearance. China has been simulating attacks on U.S. Navy ships. This is coming directly from Taiwan. It's unbelievable. Here's what they have to say. The China has been simulating attacks on U.S. Navy ships and is aiming to prevent foreign forces from coming to Taiwan's aid in the event of a war. Taiwan's defense ministry said in a strongly worded report raising the alarm on Beijing's military designs. Taiwan's defense ministry, in a report to parliament that was reviewed by Reuters, said China was continuing to strengthen its combat preparedness for an attack on the island. It was focused on the first island chain, which runs from Japan through Taiwan, the Philippines, and on to Borneo, enclosing China's coastal seas. And there was no immediate response from Beijing to the report. Imagine that. China has been, quote, using combat drills to carry out simulated attacks on U.S. ships that enter into the first island chain. And that China could use special forces or agents to, quote, decapitate Taiwan's command systems and damage infrastructure in an attack, and is capable of launching electronic attacks to disrupt communications and command systems, the report, which was dated Thursday. China could also blockade Taiwan, cut off its energy supplies and the economy, but noted that Beijing still had transport and logistic constraints to launch a full invasion. And if that wasn't enough, you can see here, U.S. angers China with potential $1.1 billion arms sale to Taiwan. Yeah, that's right. The U.S. State Department has just approved a potential $1.1 billion sale of military equipment to Taiwan, including 60 anti-ship missiles, 100 air-to-air missiles, with China threatening to take countermeasures already. The Pentagon announced the package on Friday in the wake of China's aggressive military drills. So instead of just making the sale, they're actually announcing this to the public. The sale includes Sidewinder missiles, which can be used for air-to-air surface missions at a cost of some $85 million. Harpoon anti-ship missiles at $355 million, and Taiwan's surveillance radar programs at $665 million. Now notice they paid for this. We didn't give them this for free. Quote, China will resolutely take legitimate and necessary countermeasures in the light of the development situation, a China spokesman says. A spokesman for the Chinese embassy said that this severely jeopardizes China-U.S. relations and peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here on this. It seems like this ever-growing conflict is, man, this is not looking good. It just seems like this is growing more and more of a conflict here by the day. And remember, this is as the Russia-Ukraine war has not, that is just continuing to grow and grow and grow. We're over 6 months here on that, and that is not stopping at all. The G7, the top G7 countries here, just agreed to put a price cap on Russian oil and to not buy Russian oil at all unless they agree to sell it at fair market price or below going forward. Of course, the U.S. doesn't buy Russian oil at all. So the G7 agreed to a price cap on Russian oil Friday as Russia shut a major gas pipeline to Europe, citing maintenance issues And this could cause the price of oil and natural gas to spike even more, as Russia might cut the supply to Europe. The countries agreed that they would prohibit, quote, services which enable maritime transportation, like shipping of oil from Russia, if it's sold at a price higher than the price cap which the G7 will be setting, an attempt to curb Russian profits from the sale of fuel. Today, we confirm our joint political intention to finalize this new price cap. Also, ExxonMobil is still trying to exit Russia. They're actually taking legal action against Putin for trying to block the Russian exits. They've been trying to exit here since March. And good luck trying to take legal action against Putin in Russia. I mean, that doesn't sound like a fun undertaking at all. And meanwhile, this is the problem with oil and gas, is that anything around the world, anywhere, will cause the price of oil and gas to spike. I mean, look at this. 1 million barrels per day of Iraqi oil could be taken off the market as violence breaks out in the country. And what could happen? The price of our oil and gas here in the US could spike. This is the problem. And this is and we've how many times have we seen this here in the United States? A hurricane comes along, what happens? The price of gas goes up. We see, tension in the Middle East, gas goes up. Tension in Russia, gas goes up. This is kind of the problem with the world being so reliant on fossil fuels, and this is why I think we're seeing more and more governments, bring solar, bring wind, bring nuclear power. So at least on the government level, where because government can it has government funding and they can do that kind of thing. We are seeing some people go to EVs, electric vehicles, and we're seeing more and more car makers make them and make them more affordable. We covered that in a recent vehicle where they're actually having some EVs come in the $20,000 range. What was it, a Chevy Bolt EV that was like you could get one for like $219 a month, and it runs completely on EV. And we did in the previous video that it was something like $59 a month to charge your EV, compared to it was like $150 a month to fill your gas tank for the same amount of miles in gas. So, but again, if you can get an affordable EV, and most people just charge their EVs at home, most of the time you're not charging out on the road unless you're doing an actual road trip, a long distance trip. But they need to make them affordable. They need to make them affordable, like for the average everyday cars. That's the problem. I also think that going forward, they need to make more and more where the government for our grid isn't using fossil fuels, because the problem is as soon as you burn it, it's gone, and it's just too expensive. It's too expensive. Where stuff like wind and sun is free. As soon as you as soon as you build the solar or build the wind, it's up there producing the energy mostly for free every single day as soon as you build the stuff. But you can see this headline here from NBC News. A 79th consecutive day of gas price declines means relief at the pump for many Labor Day drivers. Some larger states like California, New York, and Illinois are still seeing $4 a gallon gas, however. So we look at the national average of gas prices here. 379 is the national average here. So we have gone down for 79 days in a row. I think we may have had like one day or so where it didn't go down. You can see it's not dropping as fast of a rate here. We're dropping by about a penny per day here, which is still better than going up. So that's about 30 cents per month if we drop 1 cent per day here. You can see a month ago, It was 416. Now it's 379. So what is that? 21 cents plus 16. That would be like 37 cents that we've dropped here in the last like 30 days or so. So you can see here, we're still dropping maybe like 1 or 2 cents per day. I know it can vary based on where you live, of course. Diesel has actually gone up though. Diesel has actually gone up though. You can see here, and again, this is where I think they're price gouging us. I actually seen here where I live, diesel was $1.50 more than regular, and diesel takes less refining than gas. So why diesel should be $1.50 more than regular gas is just the gas and oil companies just taking advantage of us. And this is a large reason why food costs more, because remember all that transportation costs, and this is why goods cost a lot more because of all that transportation. Everything has to be transported. Um, but yeah, you can see here the national average of diesel is about, what is that? About $1.28 more. Where I live, it was actually $1.50 more for diesel. That shouldn't be the case, man. Diesel actually takes less refining to do, but they're just charging us whatever they want for diesel, man. That's a lot. 507, man. Look at that. Yikes. And of course, gas prices in California always the worst in the country. They just have the highest taxes, and they also have a special blend of fuel, which lowers pollution and costs more money. So you can see here they're at 525, the average. Of course, some places might be higher, some places might be lower. Diesel, $1.07 more, 632. So yeah, California just more expensive there, 525, 632 there. The good news is that the price of oil down significantly, $86 a barrel for WTI crude. Brent crude at 93, still well below $100 a barrel, but WTI crude, that's really low, $86 a barrel, at least relatively speaking. Remember that this peaked at around 135 back in March, I think it was. So that's down, what is that, 40, $50 a barrel, something like that. And Brent crude was at 140, or actually over 140, I think a little bit back in March. So again, that's almost $50 a barrel there as well. Natural gas coming down a little bit here, you can see, but it's still very, very high. A lot of that has to do with, again, Russia cutting off the supply to Europe. Natural gas at around a 14 or 15-year high, which will cause a lot of people that heat their homes with natural gas for the winter. It's going to probably be very expensive this winter. Again, that's because of the supply constraints that Russia's causing right now. It's down 5% here in the last 24 hours, um, but still very, very expensive right now. Let me know how much gas is where you are. I know that there is actually a bunch of states with gas in the $2 range, less than $3, 2.99, 2.95. I have seen a lot of comments in the comment section, which is nice to see here, which is nice to see. Will gas continue to go down? That's the big question. I just honestly, I'm not a fan of the big oil companies or the pharmaceutical industries or the healthcare industry or the college industries, because all those industries are just notorious for raking us over the coals and price gougers. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Congress either. uh, yeah. So all those industries, and Congress, will count them as an industry. They're just notorious for raking us over the coals and kind of taking advantage of us. So you look at big oil, they're just constantly trying to find a way to charge us more. Any little thing, oh, there's a controversy in Iraq. We have to raise the price of oil. Now this is all kind of done on a stock market like exchange, but it's just like, oh, there's a controversy. Price of oil goes up. Oh, Russia's having, they're cutting supply to Europe. The price of natural gas goes up. You look at healthcare, the cost of healthcare and the cost that you pay for Medicare Part B and the cost you pay for prescriptions goes up and up and up every single year. And yet, uh, they have thousands and thousands of lobbyists and they pay millions and millions of dollars every single year so that we can't lower the prices on this. So thankfully, the Democrats were able to pass at least some portions of the bill to lower the costs with the Inflation Reduction Act. It's going to go into effect here over the course of the next few years. But that's going to be, again, one more thing where we can save money, lower the cost on prescriptions. Remember that a large part of like your Medicare Part B premiums, your monthly premiums, your health care, the premiums you pay, your monthly payments that you pay, has to do with the cost of prescriptions. So even if you don't take a single prescription at all, or even if you only pay $5 a month for, a blood pressure prescription or something like that, the cost of the monthly premiums and like the $170 that you pay for Medicare Part B or anything like that, a large cost of that is prescriptions. So they bill you, they build it in there. Okay, this is because prescriptions are very, very expensive. Okay, the healthcare industry and these pharmaceutical companies, they're all making their money one way or another. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here on everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. And without further ado, here is our special guest, my son Julian. Happy Labor Day. Here he is. Here's
I'm growing.
You're growing too big.
I got too big, yeah.
All right, come on back down here so we can see you.
No, I can't grow back down.
All right, come back down.
I can't grow back down. How about you? Oh no, I'm gonna grow back up. Ah!
Why don't you tell everybody about your first day that you had at school?
The first day at school.
At preschool, yeah. And tell everybody you got to meet your teachers.
Yeah, I got everybody.
And then you got to meet your little friends.
Yeah, my new friends.
And what did you think about it?
It was great. Oh no, I'm going.
No more growing. You're growing too fast as it is. Okay, come on back down here.
I'm going back.
No more growing. No more growing. Yeah. Yeah.
Happy Labor Day weekend.
And can you say, I hope you have a fun holiday?
Have a fun holiday.
And say, I'm going to go eat my crackers now.
I'm going to go eat my crackers now.
And say, make sure to subscribe down below.
Make sure to subscribe down below.
So you don't miss out on any new videos.
So you don't miss out any no poop on the party videos.
And say, you click here to watch our next video.
Click here to watch our poop video.
And say, we'll see you in the next video.
We'll see poop in the next video.
Say bye-bye.
Poop, poop, bye. Poop, poop.